Chelsea versus Arsenal.
It's another one that on paper should be a fiery contest. There should be a lot of action, but the way both of these teams are playing this season, and especially recently, who knows what will happen here. Just over a month ago when they met, Aubameyang scored early, and then Chelsea in the last 10 minutes came back at the Emirates. Arteta will be really trying to make sure that doesn't happen again and get some revenge on them there. So I think Arsenal will go all guns blazing. I've always been saying over the last couple of weeks they just have no creativity. Obviously, Aubameyang will be missing as well from still being sent off, but I don't really see it coming from Tammy Abraham on the Chelsea side either. I saw the end of their game. Obviously, Newcastle scored in the last minute, and they would all be disappointed. But Abraham had a few chances that he just did absolutely nothing with. And he's just, I think, Jimmy, you were on him earlier in the season, if I'm correct. But I just stayed away from him. And I don't know how to call this one.
Yeah, I mean, he's been the most transferred out player this game week after Rashford, because Rashford's obviously injured. So Abraham is the most transferred out. I think Mason Mount, you can't trust him. I called out Hudson and Doy. I thought he'd score against Newcastle. Just nothing. There's just no consistency with either of these two teams. So
you don't know what we're going to get, right?
Perspective, yeah, we can't put our money on either of these. So I would actually avoid this one. Leicester versus West Ham. Ricky Pellegrini, your boys, eh? You 1-1 at Everton. Now you're going to Leicester. They're on a downward trend. Do you think you've got a chance here?
Yeah, like I say, I think it's the best time to play Leicester, just because they just don't seem to be at the races at the moment. I'm sure Brendan Rodgers will be trying to find that spark again that did so well early on in the season, but they're in free fall at the moment. All right, they're still in third. They're still in a great position. Still got quality players. They've still got Jamie Vardy, right? They're going to be King Power Stadium. Jamie Vardy is going to be desperate for a goal to get back on, back into form. So I think the first half is going to tell a lot in this game. Personally, I think this could be a 1-1. I think this could be a close game. I think West Ham will sit back defensively. I think David Moyes will be, looking to get that point away from home. And just trying to edge ourselves away from that relegation zone. So, early on. So, again, let's say Jamie Vardy scores in the first 5 minutes, then we're looking at a 3-0. If it doesn't, if we keep it tight the first half, I think this could be a 1-1.
A 1-0 shout there from Ricky Pellegrini, or 3-0 could go either way. I think your point about Vardy is he did get that penalty. He's making chances. He's still getting a couple of chances. Oh yeah. So I think his luck is going to turn, or not even luck. He is still a quality player.
I think if someone's going to score, it's going to be Vardy, right? I think Leicester. I'm definitely not on the bandwagon of getting Vardy out your team. I would get other Leicester players out your team just because they are unpredictable at the moment and on a downward turn. But Vardy, I'd still be 100% keeping in my team.
Yeah. And there's chances for West Ham here because Leicester haven't been solid at the back. You said earlier, Noble or Snodgrass. From there, we'll go over to the next game of the game week. It's Tottenham Hotspurs versus Norwich. Captain, your beloved Spurs go to the bottom of the table, Norwich. We seeing a big cricket score here?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get much of a big cricket score, especially on Spurs' end. I think they've not been able to execute any kind of form of goal. We've got obviously Son's back. He's a great player, but the finishing last weekend was absolutely shocking. And I think Dele Alli as well has a sitter. Should have headed it in. Obviously didn't go in, and it's just I don't know where we're going to get our goals from, and because at the moment it's looking pretty bleak. And I would say if anyone out of the two teams that we're going to put a ball in the back of the net, it'd be Pukki. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be one. I think we will get a goal, but I don't think we're going to win it. I think it could be 1-1, maybe. I think Cantwell, with his short and curlies, I think he props up here and there and everywhere, doesn't he? And wouldn't surprise me if he got on the score sheet as well. So be a good game though. I think it'd be a good game to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys have got this one. That Norwich are letting 45 goals. I do think Son will turn it on, maybe even Lascelles. So he scored in the FA Cup, didn't he? But yeah, it could be some goals from Norwich. Tottenham, we know, can't defend. Moving into the next one, Manchester United, Burnley. Burnley are on a bit of a roll. They've won a game, so they've won 1 in 5 and lost 4 in 5. But they did beat Leicester quite impressively. So they're going to be tails up, coming to Old Trafford, looking to get another 3 points. We're on the back of a defeat, obviously, to Liverpool, and we're a little bit depleted. And as I said earlier, we don't really seem to have quality in the moments that matter when Rashford's not in there. But all of that said, I fully see United beating Burnley. I think Burnley struggle against top teams, except for Leicester. But I can see Greenwood coming in. I think he'll replace Rashford. And I do actually see a lot of our fortunes here going to Martial. He needs to step up, and I think he will step up. He definitely made a few chances against Liverpool. He looked dangerous. He looks skillful. He looks fast. I think against a team like Burnley, he's going to get a couple of goals here. I think United are going to do Burnley 3-0. I'm giving us a clean sheet again. I like to give us clean sheets because we never get them, and eventually we'll get one. That said, let's go to the Wolves-Liverpool game on the Thursday. Liverpool getting an extra day recovery as per usual. A bit of favouritism. But Neil Van Dijk, what do you think?
Some accusatory comments there, but it's all right. We'll let that slide.
No bitterness here, mate.
Of course not. So yeah, I think Wolves at Molineux. They come out against big teams. We've seen that against City twice this season, and you could see a lot of resolute as well from coming back as they did for the win against Southampton at the weekend. Already mentioned, the likes of Traore, but you've got other players like Neto and Jimenez, who've known all season, who, again, are dangerous, right? And I rate the manager a lot. I think he really sets his team up well. He's really kind of transformed Wolves. This is going to be a difficult game. No disrespect to Pellers, but I think this is going to be more difficult than the West Ham game. I do think we'll win. It's a fixture that both Mane and Salah love scoring in, and I think kind of Mane's got 3 goals in their past 2 previous meetings. So whilst I don't think it's going to be a clean sheet for Liverpool, I think we're going to win this 3-1.
3-1 Liverpool against Wolves, and then final game then on the double game we've also obviously got Liverpool playing again and West Ham playing again. So Ricky Pellegrini, your boys against NVD's. What do we think, boys? Is this where Liverpool's?
I think that we were talking about banana skins last season. It was a banana skin last season. Liverpool coming to the London Stadium. I don't see a repeat of that happening again, to be honest. And to be honest, I see the Wolves game that you were referring to before. I think that could be more of a banana skin, just the way Wolves are playing against Liverpool. But onto the West Ham team, I mean, if Antonio starts, like I referred to earlier, I think if he starts and we're in with a shout, we need a bit more attacking prowess up front. I don't think Haller's really doing it. He needs someone supporting him. They tried to play Lanzini up in that role at the weekend. It didn't quite work. He doesn't really look at it either. I think it's really going to be. I know it's obviously, should all be resting on one player. But if Antonio plays, then I think we've got a shout. If not, then I think it's just business as usual for Liverpool. Really, I think they're just they're untouchable this season.
So we're seeing 2 wins for Liverpool then, really.
Yeah, I
think
would say from my perspective, yeah, I could see a couple of goals. West Ham, if we get a goal, it's probably going to be a penalty, I can imagine, and Mark Noble. But it's going to be pretty much a walk in the park, I think, for Liverpool otherwise.
Okay, excellent. Thanks a lot then, gents. So that's the games then, listeners. That rounds out game week 24. And now, then what that leaves us with is one part of the show left. It is, of course, the Captain Contenders.
Captain Contenders.
So one captain choice for each of you. Who are you looking at? Captain Russ, who's your captain this week?
I think that's going to be more points than he got last week.
So Captain Russ is going for no one. He's going for Rudolph. Sean, who are you going to be looking to captain this week?
So you put a few ideas in my head earlier on when we had that call from the Royal there. Mark Noble, I don't think he will be my captain in all seriousness, but maybe Andrew Robertson. Maybe he will get a couple of clean sheets and a goal assist.
Andy Robertson, I like it. NVD, are you on Robertson, or have you got another one that you're looking at?
No, I'm going to go Sadio Mane. Only because of his history against both Wolves and West Ham. I think he's got 3-2 against Wolves and 4 in the past 3 against West Ham. So, yeah, I think he could just shade it ahead of Salah. So my money's on Mane.
So 2 Liverpool games there. And are either of you looking at the triple captain?
It's too much information.
Too much info. Okay, I'm trying in 7th, mate. You need to glean everything you can. Ricky Pellegrini, are you seeing Aguero scoring again?
To be honest, the point about the Sheffield United game, I probably will stay away from the Man City. But with the double game week, it has to be a Liverpool player. I think if you're gonna triple captain or at least just captain, I say Salah. To be honest with you, I would flip down his head. I'd say I hear what everybody's saying about Mane, with his record against Wolves, but I think Salah really is coming back to his best. Just the way, I know it was a great through ball from Alisson, did a lot of the work there, but just to hold that defender off, and he looks like the player he was, the last few seasons, and I think he's going to just go from strength to strength. So yeah, Mo Salah for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout, mate. He's certainly turning it on in the last few games. I think, to round it out for me, it's got to be a Liverpool player as well. They do play twice in this week. I'm going to go for Alexander-Arnold. So you've got 4 to choose from. I don't think you can really put it on the one that's going to get it. But the most likely for me is Alexander-Arnold. He was in the dream team again this weekend. A nice 10-point return with an assist and a couple of bonus point there. So, and the clean sheets. They're really on the clean sheet run. So that's what I'm going with. So there we have it, listeners. That's the week, game week 24. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to get in touch with us, if you want your rambling to be read out, send us an email. You can reach us at leftinthechangingroom@gmail.com, or you can get us on Twitter. How do they do that, NVD?
You can get us on Twitter at leftbackfpl. You can also get us on Reddit as well. We are now on Reddit, so we are Leftback FPL if you search on Reddit, and we're already making our presence felt in the Fantasy Premier League community there as well. So come check us out, leave a comment.
There you go then. So it rolls off the tongue. Leftback FPL. Find us on Reddit, Twitter, or send us an email. We're all off to Target to help Patrick Vieira carry his pushchair back to Baby Raheem. And guys, yeah. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear you all next week. Have a good one. Thanks a lot.